I survived to make the next video. Anyway, I'll tell the story about this boat. We live on this boat for the last 2 years. We've travelled up and down the Great Barrier Reef. I fitted brand new Yamaha outboards to it. It's got this 60 horsepower high thrust in the middle, the Yamaha. It's got two 9.9s on each side, which give it great manoeuvrability. We've lived on it for the last 2 years here in Brisbane, Australia, and it's somewhere to live. It's a great place to live, but it's now time to move on. This, what you're looking at there on the hull, is the centre nacelle, which is a wave breaker. This allows buoyancy towards the front of the boat, which is great. As you can see, it's got 1 metre clearance underneath the hulls, and this is really important because if you're going to go through big seas, it stops slamming into the underwing deck and continue through the back. As it's coming through past the end of the nacelle at the moment, the first of the Yamahas comes into sight. This is a 60 horsepower high thrust Yamaha, and although I haven't tested it out yet, it probably allows the boat to do 12 knots plus, I think, because it's got very easily driven hulls. In the back of the hulls where you can see now, that's where the two 9.9 horsepower high thrust Yamahas live. With using those motors, that type of motor, even though the ones that are in there now are both brand new, we've travelled up and down the Great Barrier Reef 5 times, and they're very economical. You can just go down to using one motor, or if you want to, you can use two and go a little bit quicker. One motor will push it along on an average about between 4 and 6 knots, depending on what the conditions are. But two motors, you can sit around 7 to 8 knots, and that 60 horsepower will probably push it along at 12 plus knots, still economically. That's Wake on one of the 9.9s. We've gone and enjoyed this boat for the last 20 years, going up and down the coast, living in different places. Now it's we're sort of forced to live here in Brisbane, so we need to sell the boat and move on to buying something else. Here's the boat a couple of years ago when my daughter was practicing tennis on the roof of it. But that view there is we're doing about 12, 13 knots up off Cairns, coming back from the Great Barrier Reef, I think it was. No, that was actually going through past Hitchinbrook Island. This is sort of a plan layout of the boat. I don't know if you can stop the video and have a look at that. But it's not quite like that. It's a little bit different now. Here's where we're living on the boat at the moment. This is in Brisbane. This is at a boatyard in Brisbane. But if you wanted to leave it here and stay there for a while, you could. Or you can take it out of the water here and do renovations on the boat. This is what's a great place about it.